Can Manny Pacquiao beat Errol Spence? That's a good question. I've just been hearing at the moment that apparently the Pacquiao-Crawford fight's not going to happen, and apparently there's maybe talks of Pacquiao fighting Errol Spence Jr. Now, I've got to be honest again, for those of you that don't know, I'm a huge Manny Pacquiao fan. I would say easily, he's my favourite boxer that I've ever watched, and I've got quite a few favourites, but I just think there's something different. And I've never been, I don't think I've ever been so entertained when I've watched a fighter more than when I've watched Pacquiao. And as I said, I've watched, excuse me, loads of great fighters. So to answer the question, in some way, I think Errol Spence is even more difficult for Manny at this moment in time than Terence Crawford. Different styles, obviously. Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, their boxing styles, in my opinion, is very different. Their methodology in how they go about, fighting and breaking people down. I think Errol Spence is physically more stronger than Terence Crawford. I think in some ways Terence, in my opinion, I could be wrong, of course, and you guys can let me know your opinion, which is really important, which is why I called this platform Let's Talk Boxing. And I'm not trying to be like the top expert. That's not my passion. It's just I like talking about boxing with other boxing enthusiasts and talking about fights, breaking them down, giving opinions. So I appreciate all of you that have subscribed. Like I said, I started this channel really just as a hobby, because there was only so much I could do during the lockdown of having quite a lot of time on my hands and, not working at the moment. So I thought, I don't want to waste my time. I want to use it and do something positive. So I don't think Manny could beat Errol Spence at this moment in time. Again, I think Pacquiao would have beaten Errol Spence and Terence Crawford when he was in his real prime. Like I've said in the last videos, his performance against Keith Thurman was second to none. It was brilliant. And it was like Manny went in a time machine and rolled back the years. But that was quite a long time ago now. I think we're coming to 2 years. And again, Errol Spence, seeing his last fight against Danny Garcia, he just looks in the prime of his life. He looks pretty unbeatable. He's so strong, the way he comes forward, the way he puts pressure, his timing, the way that he gets better and better and stronger each round. Now, that's not to say that it's going to be a walk in the park. I'm not saying Manny Pacquiao is just going to go in and he's going to completely get beaten up. I can't see that happen. I think he's still going to give, if he does fight them, Errol Spence and Crawford, he'd give anyone a good fight because it's Manny Pacquiao. But the reality is, he is 42, and some of you have said in the comments, and I don't agree with everything you said. You said, but age doesn't matter. Well, age does matter, because if it didn't matter, then you'd be getting boxers that were 100 winning world titles. So we could say that age doesn't always matter. Obviously, there's certain situations where, age isn't a factor because of other factors, and those factors being Manny's a great athlete. He takes care of himself. He seems to live a great lifestyle. It's one of the reasons why I really admire him. And he's just got, he's got certain genetic advantages which other fighters don't have, i.e. his hand speed, his foot speed, his rhythm, his timing. And he's got, for me, one of the most important attributes that a fighter can have. He's got 100% heart. He's unbelievable. So do I want Manny to win? Of course I want Manny to win. I want him to beat Crawford. I want him to beat Spence. I want him to beat Mikey Garcia. He's my fighter that I love. But I'm going to be honest at the same time. I'm not going to be a fan who's blinded. And it happens to a lot in fandom. I've been guilty of it myself. When you're a fan of someone, you overlook certain truths because you become biased. You become a fan. And I promised myself when I did this channel and did videos, I was going to be honest whether I'm a fan or not, because I don't think it's fair. It's not truthful. And that matters to me. Some of you it might not matter. Some of you it does. So in his prime, Manny beats everyone and all of them. I'd even go to say, right, people might disagree with me, I think a prime Manny beats a prime Canelo. It's difficult though, because the weights are, Canelo is naturally much bigger than Manny. He's massive. But if you're talking about Canelo fighting at his original weight, which was somewhere around welter to light middle or junior middle, then I think prime Manny would eat him alive. I don't think Canelo could keep Manny off. Manny throws it's too many punches for me. But again, that would be a cracking fight. So I do tell the truth, regardless of whether I like the person, whether I'm a fan. I want to be proven wrong. I want to be proven wrong in that I've said that I don't think Manny can beat Crawford or Spence at this moment in time. I would love to be wrong because I want Manny to win. So it's not like I want to be right, but it's just that I'm telling the truth about exactly what I feel at this moment in time. But I appreciate all of your opinions. And one of you said a good thing. You said, Manny's going to prove me wrong. He's going to prove everyone wrong, and I hope he does, because I'm rooting for him. I'm not sitting there going, well, I want Manny to lose. When he's fighting, you guys don't want to see me how I get. I'm screaming, I'm passionate. I love the guy. I want him to win. But I'm just, I'm going with my gut feeling, and that's important. So, yeah, it will be exciting to see whoever he's going to fight. But yeah, it's a difficult one, because if you say who's the harder opponent, they're both just as difficult, Crawford and Spence. But if I had to, I don't know why, something's telling me Spence is a little bit harder. Now, if you ask me who do I think would win out of Errol Spence and Crawford, I lean towards Crawford, and I always have done. But again, I'm not very sure about that if I had to give my answer. But Manny fighting either one, I think Errol Spence is a bit harder because he's physically bigger and he's very strong and he wears you down, where for me Crawford punches harder. I think Crawford punches harder in single shots, but Errol Spence is brutal. He breaks your body down. He follows you, stalks you, and he may look a little bit slower in movement than Crawford, but he makes up for that in timing. So they're both just as difficult as each other, but I think Errol Spence would be an even tougher fight for Manny. But I'd love to see the fight happen. I'd love to see Manny do it. If he did it, you'll see me going nuts making videos on this channel, but I just think they're just going to get him at the right time, where he's coming towards the end of his career. And that performance against Furman, I'm not going to use that, because that was Manny winning a time machine. That was brilliant, right? All praise to Manny, but I don't know if he can do that again. Can he do that again at age 42? That was almost 2 years ago against Furman. How much did he use? Has he got enough in the tank? Has he got the dedication to put another training camp in, the sparring? And I don't doubt that he hasn't lost it. I think he's got the dedication, but I just don't know if his body can respond with what his mind and his heart wants him to do. But again, we're saying all this, we don't even know if the fight's going to happen. I've got no idea. I don't have connections. I don't know what's going on. I just repeating what's been said online, but I'm giving my honest account through watching boxing for years, and I've studied some of Crawford's fights, Errol Spence. I think they're both brilliant. I'm a fan of all of them, but Manny's the guy that I like more. So yeah, let's talk boxing, and I'm going to read the comments. I'm sure you're going to have a lot of things to say, and some of you are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. That's good. It's good that you've got your own mind, all right?